What's up, Taiwan? I'm Eric Gao, and thanks for joining us here on TaiwanPlus. A Palestinian news agency says at least 2 women are dead and many others are injured after an explosion hit a Greek Orthodox church in Gaza. The agency says people were sheltering in the church when it was hit by an Israeli attack. There was no immediate comment from Israel. The explosion comes almost 2 weeks after Hamas militants killed 1,400 people in Israel. That prompted Israel to bombard the Gaza Strip with strikes that Gaza officials say have killed more than 3,700 people. Meanwhile, U.S. President Joe Biden is asking his country to back spending billions more to support Israel and Ukraine.
American leadership is what holds the world together. American alliances are what keep us, America, safe. American values are what make us a partner that other nations want to work with. To put all that at risk, if we walk away from Ukraine, if we turn our backs on Israel, it's just not worth it.
Biden spoke after returning from Israel in a show of solidarity as it battles Hamas militants. He says he will send an urgent funding request to the U.S. Congress, expected to be around $100 billion over the next year. That reportedly includes money for Ukraine, Israel, humanitarian aid, and border management, as well as for Taiwan and the Indo-Pacific. The Taliban says it wants to formally join China's Belt and Road Initiative. The group's commerce minister says Afghanistan is ready for investment and wants to be part of the China-Pakistan economic corridor. This comes amid closer ties between Beijing and the Taliban administration. Despite no country formally recognizing the Taliban government since it took power in 2021, China did appoint a new ambassador to Kabul in September. Afghanistan could offer China valuable mineral resources. A Pentagon report shows that China now has more than 500 nuclear warheads and will likely have 1,000 by the end of the decade. The report assesses the threat posed by Beijing and says China's nuclear buildup is expanding faster than expected. But its arsenal is still smaller than that of Russia and the United States. Those countries both have thousands of missiles and warheads. Turning now to Taiwan news. Firefighters say they won't stop pushing for the right to form a union, something that Taiwan's law does not currently allow. The government has proposed letting them form so-called professional groups as a compromise, but firefighters reject this idea, and now they have some new allies. John Van Trieste reports.
Firefighters and the government on a collision course. The death of 4 firefighters last month in this factory blaze has re-energized a push for a firefighters' union. This was just the latest in a string of factory fires that have killed firefighters in recent years. And news of safety violations on site sparked fresh outrage. Firefighters have spent weeks demanding stricter enforcement of safety standards and greater protections. But some see a union, and the threat of a strike, as the only way to get these demands met, the only way to protect their lives and the lives of their comrades. As public employees, though, Taiwan's firefighters can't organize. And even after a month of angry protests, the government hasn't moved to change this rule. On Thursday, the Examination Yuan, the government branch in charge of civil servants, recommended a compromise, letting firefighters start a professional association instead.
但人员是分散在各机关，所以呢，特种的协会也可以成立。建议权、协商权这个部分都有在做比较多的强化。建议事项这一次都有比较多的放宽。
But while forming an association would come with added health and other benefits for members, some firefighters have already rejected the idea.
争议性最大的到底可不可以罢工这件事情，我就不谈这件事情。其实，在协商事项还是限制消防事项来进行协商。就算公务人协会法修法，那到底基层消防员组成公务人协会之后，到底有什么东西是可以协商的？
Now, though, the firefighters aren't alone. Throughout this month of protests, police have surrounded their pickets, and they even threatened to break up a candlelit vigil. But police, too, are barred from forming unions, and they're starting to demand some of the same things.
没有人听得到所谓基层执法人员的声音，所以我本会认为，我们应该要先组建一个所谓的警察工会。
As lawmakers prepare to look at the government proposal, the question is whether added pressure from the police will sway the government's course. Patrick Chen and John Van Trieste for TaiwanPlus.
In local politics, Tammy Li, the running mate of presidential hopeful and electronics tycoon Terry Guo, has officially renounced her U.S. citizenship. Li posted a photo on social media proving the loss of nationality. Guo caused a stir last month when he announced that actor Li would be his vice presidential pick. But it wasn't only Li's background in entertainment that raised eyebrows. Her dual U.S.-Taiwan citizenship meant that she could not run for office here in Taiwan. With her renunciation confirmed, she is now free to join Guo on the ticket if they are successful in gathering the 300,000 signatures needed to run. Residents of northern Taiwan's Longtan are protesting plans to use their land for a science park expansion project. Park officials are pushing ahead with this plan despite chipmaker TSMC backing out of it over earlier protests. Officials say the expansion is not meant for any one company. Rather, it's meant to promote Taiwan's technological and industrial development. But locals say it would take their land and homes and leave them with nothing.
80几岁都没有房子，你要叫我去哪里？我请政府多多给我们照顾农民好不好？
Taiwan's Agriculture Ministry has developed an artificial intelligence sound recognition tool that can identify different types of animals. Laurel Stewart has this report.
This is an eastern barn owl. Scientists know this not because they can see it, but because they can hear it. Called CILIC, this artificial intelligence sound detection tool was developed by the Agriculture Ministry's Institute of Biodiversity, and it can identify 184 animal species based on the sounds they make. This is a big help for collecting data on the fauna that live in an area. A camera can only capture large animals that happen to pass in front of the lens, but sound detection is a lot more comprehensive. And the new AI tool can process 1 hour of recordings in 1 minute, significantly cutting down on the time researchers spend on analysis.
我们先把声音呢转换成频谱图，然后我们建置了一个模型，这个模型可以去侦测这个里面这个图里面有哪个地方有像声音的样子，然后它是什么声音。
The AI tool can detect birds, frogs, and some mammals with over 90% accuracy. It's now also being trained to detect bats, which make sounds that humans can't hear.
人耳听不到，但是机器录得到，所以我们也开始训练史力克。它史力克目前已经会25种蝙蝠的超音波的回声定位声音了。
CILIC is currently being used to collect biodiversity data in Taiwan's national parks and for research on eastern barn owls. Better yet, it's a free and publicly available tool, one with the potential to be used by academics and conservationists to add to our understanding of Taiwan's diverse wildlife. Leon Lien and Laurel Stewart for TaiwanPlus.
A week before Taiwan Pride, cyclists are hitting the road for the annual Asia Rainbow Ride. Tiffany Wong was there.
After the rain comes a rainbow. Despite the expected showers this weekend, over 100 cyclists have set off for a 206-kilometer ride. Known as the Asia Rainbow Ride, this annual event in Taipei drew over 100 participants. They're here to help support the Asian LGBTQ community. The event was inspired by an AIDS charity bike ride in the U.S. and found a home in Taiwan, a country its organizers call one of the most progressive places in Asia for LGBTQ rights.
Taiwan is kind of like the beacon of hope for Asia in terms of LGBT rights, and we hope to, set an example for, this is the amount of freedom that one could get in a country that's really free, and then we could just, love the people that we love.
This is the Rainbow Ride's 4th year, and it's more popular than ever. Riders have flown in from as far away as Australia, Canada, and Italy to take part. Many are returning riders who say they keep coming back for the sense of community.
Especially with all the crap happening in the world at the moment, which we all know about, it's nice to come here and take a break from all of that and just get together, this camaraderie, and ride for charity and for each other.
And by getting together, they also want to draw attention to the continuing issues the queer community faces in Taiwan and abroad.
Showing my support, spreading the word about equality and rights for the queer community, not just in Taiwan. Taiwan is supportive, but we still have work to do in Taiwan and around Asia.
This year's route takes riders around the scenic northwest coast of Taiwan, from Ximending in Taipei to Taoyuan in the country's north and back.
Cycle for life!
Thousands of people from around the world will be coming to Taipei for the Taiwan Pride Parade next week. And events like this are a warm-up for the big day. They're also an excellent way for Taiwan to showcase the progress it's made on LGBTQ rights on an international stage.
I keep coming back because I think this is a really important way to express some of the values that Taiwan and the United States share.
Participants will finish the ride in 3 days' time here in Ximending, the heart of Taipei's LGBTQ community. Organizers say the route is symbolic of the community's continued struggle for acceptance and equality. Participants tell me they hope to make new friends along the ride and are looking forward to seeing them again next week at Taipei's annual Pride event. Joseph Wu and Tiffany Wong in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Lion and dragon dances are familiar sights across the Chinese-speaking world. And here in Taiwan, there's a martial artist who's learned how to make the heads used in these traditional dances. Bryn Thomas has this story.
This craftsman in central Taiwan's Nantou County marches to the beat of his own drum. He teaches kids martial arts and drumming and is one of the last people in the area that knows how to make heads for traditional lion dances the old-fashioned way, out of paper mache. It's a dying art, and although much lighter than modern masks, paper mache masks are more fragile and most performers have moved on to newer materials. But that didn't stop Master Zhang Jiafang from spending a year learning the craft. He thinks his work helps preserve local traditions.
这种技艺在我们竹山的话，现在已经很少了，可能几乎没有了。那因为我想说，这种技艺不能让它失传，所以说我才会去寻找这些东西。
He's now passing on what he knows to local youth, hoping to help preserve this very old skill set. Ethan Pan and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
Young artists are pushing boundaries at the 30th Art Taipei exhibition. Our reporter Reese Ayers takes a look.
Exploring substance, style, and cyberspace. The Taipei International Art Fair is back and bigger than ever. Featuring works by over 140 artists from Taiwan and abroad, this annual expo showcases young talent from the contemporary art scene. While some artists are using more traditional techniques, such as oil paintings and calligraphy, some others are exploring a more modern approach.
Taiwanese artist Tuan Mu is giving visitors the opportunity to fully immerse themselves inside his art using virtual reality.
那我就是会透过新媒体的创作，像是 VR 或是 AI 或是动画去。重新传达东方的一些文化或是背景，这样。我觉得我的作品就是在探索，在这个科技时代，观众怎么样去重新感受自己的身体和空间的一个状态。
Other artists are showing works that tell personal stories. Wang Yuqing was in New York during the COVID pandemic. She depicts the discrimination she faced there.
因为我戴着口罩，所以被当时的白人歧视，就他们对我喊Chinese mask， 然后因为这件事情就是是一个启发这样子，然后我就觉得我同时被歧视，但我同时也觉得为什么他是用 Chinese 这样，然后我就不想要被定义成 Chinese， 因为我是一个 Taiwanese 这样子。
More than a modern art expo, the event is a platform for creativity and cultural exchange in the Asia-Pacific region, demonstrating the ever-evolving nature of art and celebrating the young trailblazers at the forefront of the scene. Eason Chen, Yvonne Yang, and Reese Ayers in Taipei for TaiwanPlus.
Thanks for joining us here on What's Up Taiwan. Check out more of our stories on the TaiwanPlus website and follow us on social media. Finally, we've got more shots from the 2023 Art Taipei Expo opening. I'm Eric Gao, and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you for watching TaiwanPlus. Be sure to follow us on social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world.